Hello, my name is Rachel and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be going through the Magnificent 7 stocks and how you could invest in those stocks by simply investing in an ETF. So first of all, what are the Magnificent 7 stocks? Now these are stocks that have had a huge technological impact on a lot of people's lives. So let's think about these stocks in terms of your day and the impact that they might have on your life. So perhaps you wake up to your alarm, which is set on your Apple iPhone, and then maybe you get up, you get dressed, you go downstairs, and you might have a quick Google of what the weather might be like. Then after that, you're going to get in your car to go to work, and the car that you are driving is a Tesla. Then you get into work, you log into your Microsoft computer, do a bit of work. Then once your day has ended, you head home. But then on your way home, you get a text message saying, can you go and pick up my Facebook Marketplace purchase? I bought a table. You think, will this fit in the Tesla boot? Potentially not, but you're on your way to pick up your Facebook purchase. And then you've finally done everything you need to do. You're headed home, you put your keys through the front door, give it a little push, and it feels like there might just be an Amazon Prime parcel waiting for you on the other side of the door. So you've just got to give that door a little bit more of a push and you are home and done. And then the last stock of the Magnificent 7 is Nvidia. Now you might not think that this stock touches your life on a day-to-day basis, but in fact it does, because Nvidia's biggest customers are the likes of Amazon, Google and Microsoft. So all of those companies are using Nvidia. So you can see now that these Magnificent 7 stocks have a huge impact on your day-to-day life, and they have performed exceptionally well over the last year and the last 5 years. So the Bank of America analyst Michael Hartnett coined the phrase in 2023 when commenting on the 7 companies commonly recognized for their market dominance, their technological impact, and their changes to consumer behavior and economic trends. So I've had a quick look at these stocks over the last 5 years and 1 year just to have a look at their performance and see how they've done. And you can really see here the phenomenal performance of these stocks. So these numbers are accurate as of today when I'm filming this video. So Apple has increased 24% over the last year and 317% in 5 years. Alphabet is up 55% in a year and 145% in 5 years. Tesla is actually the only one of the Magnificent 7 which is down in the last year, so it's down minus 2.91%, but over 5 years it's up a whopping 916%. Now wait until we get to Nvidia, because that one is just shocking how much it's gone up in 5 years. So Microsoft next is up 63%, 5-year change of 262%. Meta Platforms, which is formerly Facebook, is up 178% in the last year and 200% in 5 years. Amazon up 84% and 107% in 5 years. Nvidia up 238% in 1 year. And in 5 years, Nvidia is up 1,912%. So these are big players in the market. Now you might be thinking, how can I get a slice of these different stocks without investing individually in each one of them? Now I have investments in all of these different stocks, and the way that I am invested in them is through ETFs. So I personally prefer to invest in ETFs, which are exchange traded funds, which basically mean that you're getting a basket of different shares rather than having to individually go out and buy a little slice of all of those different investments. So for example, at the moment, these Magnificent 7 make up 25% of the S&P 500 at the moment. So if you were to go away and invest in Vanguard's VUSA, for example, or VUAG, so that is an S&P 500 ETF, you would be getting all of these different Magnificent 7 stocks, and actually 25% of that whole ETF would be made up of these 7 magnificent stocks. So although there are 500 different stocks within the S&P 500, 25% of that ETF would be made up of these 7 stocks alone. Another alternative that you could look at if you wanted to invest in an ETF which contained all of these 7 different magnificent stocks, you could invest in the NASDAQ 100. So an example of this could be Invesco's NASDAQ 100 EQQQ ETF. And actually within that ETF, these Magnificent 7 stocks make up 35% of that ETF. So you're getting a huge amount of those stocks in those ETFs. So those are two examples of the way that you could invest in these individual stocks by investing in an ETF instead of going out and buying them all individually. Now, I prefer to invest in ETFs because they give me a nice diverse portfolio. It means that all my eggs are not in, say, for example, Tesla's basket. And it also means that the costs are very, very low for investing in ETFs as well. So if we're taking Vanguard's S&P 500 VUSA or VUSA, the fees for that are just 0.07%. As I say, you're getting those top 500 stocks from the US, of which around 25% at the moment will be coming from those Magnificent Seven. So that is how you could go about investing in ETFs to invest in the Magnificent Seven. Now, I choose to do things a bit differently. I am not invested at the moment in the NASDAQ or the S&P 500. Now, I am invested in an ETF which gives me huge exposure to actually 3 of these different Magnificent Seven stocks. So I am invested in IITU at the moment. It is the technology stocks from the S&P 500. So rather than investing in the whole of the S&P 500, I'm focusing on investing in the technology stocks alone. Now, if you have a closer look at the portfolio for this ETF, you will see that the top 3 holdings for this ETF make up 56% of this ETF. Now, that is huge percentage. So that really shows that it's very, very important to have a look at holdings and the breakdown of a portfolio before you choose to make any investment. 56% of this portfolio is made up of Apple. So 20.85% of IITU is Apple. And then Microsoft next is the second biggest holding, which is making up 18.29% of this ETF. And then Nvidia finally is making up 16.97% of this ETF. Now, because those stocks have performed exceptionally well over the last year, this ETF, so IITU, is currently up over 50% in the last year. This will largely be down to Nvidia's phenomenal performance. So those are the Magnificent Seven stocks. I'd be interested to see whether you are invested in those Magnificent Seven stocks. Do you hold any of these individual stocks? Some people at the moment are talking about tilting away from these Magnificent Seven stocks. However, having a look at the performance of them and their valuations, I'm happy to continue holding some of these Magnificent Seven stocks within my ETFs. I'd be interested to hear if any of you are choosing to tilt away from investing in these Magnificent Seven stocks because they have performed so well. Are they potentially overpriced in your opinion? I'd be really interested to hear what you think about that. So as I said, all of these stocks do feature heavily in our day-to-day lives. Potentially with the AI boom that we're seeing at the moment, they could continue to do well into 2024, and I'd be really interested to hear your opinions on them. Thanks so much for watching and have a lovely day. Bye-bye. 7 Magnificent Seven, these two of the different